This situation keeps getting crazier, as we have heard time and time again about the connection between Jonathan Kuminga and the Chicago Bulls, specifically in regards to the other restricted free agent in Josh Giddey and Arturas Karnisovas and his plans going forwards for the Bulls and Giddey, and now other players are getting involved in trade talks and much more regarding the Chicago Bulls and Golden State Warriors trying to figure out a way to navigate the restricted free agency situations with interest in each other's players as well. And there's a lot to go over with this, guys, and we're going to break all that down. But before we do that, if you're not subscribed to Bulls Digest, if you're part of that 76% that is not subscribed, make sure to subscribe for daily Chicago Bulls updates from us at Bulls Digest. We have a ton of videos coming out that you do not want to miss out on. But let's jump into it. There is a lot to go over on the Bulls right now. As we know, the biggest storylines surrounding the Chicago Bulls recently have been about restricted free agency, and most specifically, Josh Giddey's restricted free agency. Giddey had an excellent season with the Chicago Bulls last year, especially in the final 20 games of the season, where he averaged a near triple-double with over 20 points per game and shooting 44% from three. Giddey was nothing short of an all-star player in the second half of the season after Zach Lavine did get shipped out, meaning he got more touches and got to really run the offense for the first time in his NBA career. Once Giddey was allowed to do that, it took very little time to see that Josh Giddey is a very talented player who does or who should be with the Bulls long term, because he is the best player on the team right now when it comes to futures and even current. And frankly, it is very important for Josh Giddey and the Chicago Bulls to get this deal done. And there's been a lot of discussion on how exactly this is going to be done. Arturas Karnisovas and the Chicago Bulls have been trying to navigate this very difficult situation right now, because Karnisovas and the Bulls, they see it as one way that they should not be giving Giddey more than $20 million per year based off the fact that Giddey has no leverage and is not going to be taking that qualifying offer, while Giddey is threatening to take that qualifying offer because he thinks he deserves around $30 million per year. And now, because of this, we have seen both sides at a standstill. There's been this situation that's been tough to navigate right now between the Bulls and Josh Giddey, as things really do have to at some point come to fruition here. Now, everything we've seen has been that the Chicago Bulls and Giddey are going to agree to a deal, but also on top of that, we have seen a lot of noise surrounding Jonathan Kuminga and the Chicago Bulls as well. The Bulls do have some level of interest in Jonathan Kuminga, and the Warriors do want to get a deal done or get a sign and trade done involving Jonathan Kuminga. Now, considering no team has cap space right now, if another team did want to sign any of the restricted free agents, whether it's Kuminga, Josh Giddey, Cameron Thomas, no matter who it is, Quentin Grimes, out of those big four, when it comes down to it, or that's the only four, when it comes down to it, if another team wanted to bring them in, it would have to be some sort of sign and trade to make the money work, and that's caused a lot of trouble with other teams, because other teams are really struggling. There can't be any offer sheets, really, which has prevented teams from kind of overpaying restricted free agents in a poison pill contract, so their initial team has to match it or ends up losing out on a key player for their team. And now we have a huge update regarding Kuminga and the Bulls, and also with the implications on Josh Giddey. As Jake Fisher mentioned, that the Warriors are not open to any sign and trades for Jonathan Kuminga that would force them to trade either Buddy Hield or Moses Moody as well. Now, Kuminga last year did have a solid season. I mean, the shooting was not there, but he put up 15 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 2 assists per game, was a solid defender as well, shooting 45% from the field. Jonathan Kuminga still feels like he was that guy who was coming in with a ton of potential, and he's only 22 years old. He's going to turn 23 soon, and it feels like a change of scenery really could help him start to figure things out, given the Warriors have usually been very good with young players, and it feels like if in due time, if Kuminga can just buy in, and if Kuminga and Steve Kerr can find a way to get along, and considering how great of a coach Steve Kerr has been, you kind of do turn your eyes towards Kuminga there. There is a world where things could still really go well for these two sides. Meanwhile, Moses Moody has been a solid player as well. Shot 43.5% on corner threes last year, 37% from three in general, and 43% from the field. Now, Moody put up 10 points and 2.5 rebounds when playing not inconsistent minutes, but his minutes have kind of moved around a lot throughout his NBA career after being a lottery pick in the same year as Kuminga. So Moody, the Warriors do not want to move on from. They want to keep him around. They really do like Moses Moody going forwards, and they think he fits in well as a shooting guard for this team. On top of that, you also have Buddy Hield. Hield put up 11 points per game last year and shot 37% from three, which is below what he usually shoots from three. Buddy Hield did struggle this season, but did have moments where he did show that he is still Buddy Hield, that he's still that guy. He's only 32 years years old. Shooters do last a while, so I do think Buddy Hield will bounce back. He just had a little bit of a rough go last year. And the Warriors clearly feel the same way about Hield. They still know that he's one of the best shooters in the NBA and that he will get back there. And because of that, there has been a lot of discussion on what exactly they should be doing in this situation, because the Bulls do have interest in all of these guys. The Bulls do have interest in trying to get a deal done. And when you look at Kuminga and Josh Giddey together, what we see is a situation where Josh Giddey throughout last season led in every single stat that wasn't points, and he averaged 0.7 less points than Jonathan Kuminga, and also played a lot more games. So Giddey does deserve more money, and you can't really do a swap for just these two in some sort of sign and trade deal. We know the Warriors have interest in Giddey. That's not lost on anyone. But when you look at this, it's just not going to be a fair deal if you do a complete swap, and the Bulls know that, and they're not going to buy into anything like that, especially after Giddey put up a season where he was averaging in the final 20 games, again, 21 points on a near triple-double with 11 rebounds, shooting 44% from 3 and 50% from the field, looking like an all-star. That's just not going to happen. The Bulls are not going to go for anything like that. And when you look at their cap table right now, what we see is that it's pretty clean outside of that Patrick Williams contract. So they don't want to get into any serious financial implications, so they can have money to sign free agents next year. You do have the Isaac Okoro deal, you do have the Jalen Smith deal, but both those deals could be traded if you absolutely had to. And either way, because of all these expiring contracts, you're still going to have money regardless of the contract that Giddey is signed to. It's just a matter of how much money there's going to be. Now, Jake Fisher did mention that the Warriors' refusal to entertain the prospect of surrounding Hield or Moody surrendering Hield or Moody in those circumstances are moving or among the prime reasons that it's difficult to envision Golden State and Chicago ever finding common ground on a sign and trade construction that features Kuminga and Giddey switching teams. Fisher said that he's told that the Warriors continue to value Giddey's skill set and have communicated their interest to the Australian point guard's representation. There simply does not appear to be a feasible pathway for such a trade. Not right now, anyway. The base year compensation issue alone makes it challenging before we even get to the limited salary matching and outgoing player flexibility that Golden State is currently facing. So basically, the Warriors, who have wanted Josh Giddey since draft night but were one pick short on him, still do want him, but they're struggling to find any real way to get him. While Giddey last year put up 14.6 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists over the course of the season, shooting 38% from 3 and 46% from the field, had his best season in the NBA, and as we know, those numbers were trending upwards as well. So it is a deal that does make a lot of sense for all these sides as long as it can get done. But it's not going to get done, and that works out for the Bulls because why would you want to give up Josh Giddey? The real answer is they don't. They don't want to give up Josh Giddey. What the Bulls really would prefer is to keep Josh Giddey and then somehow also find a way to get Jonathan Kuminga, if anything. But right now, when it comes down to it, all this Josh Giddey stuff is the Bulls trying to dangle him. It's all them playing games to try to figure out a way to pay Josh Giddey less money than they want to pay him. It's not because they don't want him. They just want to get him on a bargain deal. And you got to respect the at least attempt from Arturas Karnisovas to keep our books as clean as possible. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I do think that moving forwards, there is going to become some common ground that's around $25 million for Josh Giddey, and I'm not going to argue with that because that would be a good contract for each side. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I will catch you on the next one.